Patch 2.3.10 for Elite Dangerous is here, and today we're taking a look at the status of Quince. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous with Down to Earth Astronomy. You might remember, I assume most of you know, the system Quince, which previously was a very good system for making money. Pretty much everybody was out here making tons and tons of money. Now that we got a new minor update, I thought I would take a look because it said something interesting in the patch note, something about mission board optimization. So I thought, what the hell is that? So I decided to go out here and give it a test, and I've been looking for the missions. We're here at Jeffreys High looking for passenger missions, which we before could then go into Galen's Ascension and hand in or complete them very easily, very fast. And you can take both missions for Galen's Ascension and for the Quince Visitors Beacon and complete both at just one beacon. If you want to see that method, there's some more info icon that you can click. But for now, let's just see how the state of this thing is. We're going to the passenger mission board here. We can see there are some missions. I should say that we should have a quick look at the current state of this system. We see we do have the Quince Jet family in lockdown. We have some in civil unrest and some in boom, some in none. So they're kind of it's all messed up down here when it comes to which state they're in. But we can clearly see we are still offered passenger missions, but none of these missions are for the Quince visitors. None of them actually to this system. And prior to recording this, I've actually been board hopping here for around 15 minutes, and I didn't get a single mission within the same system. I'm not saying that they're not possible to get anymore, I'm just saying that if you can still get them, they are very rare. And so it seems that at least the passenger missions are not a viable option any longer. You're simply just not being offered missions to the two beacons any longer. So unfortunately, that is not working anymore. But luckily for us, there is another method of making money in Quince, of course. That is the surface scanner missions. So let's head over to Millersport and let's see how they're stacking up. So here we are. We are now back at Millersport. So let's go ahead and see how the surface scanner missions are stacking up. And I should say, of course, just as with the passenger missions, I'll put a link in the more info icon to the description of this method if you're interested. But let's start ahead and let's see how it looks. At first glance, it doesn't look good, to be honest. Only two of the mission givers actually gives missions, and one of them I can't even do because it's a donation mission. And in here we got a total of one surface scanner mission. That's not really that impressive. But let's give it a try. I'm gonna board hop for about 15 minutes, and I'm gonna see what kind of missions I can pick up. Okay, so I decided to actually stop here after only about 5 minutes of board hopping, because I actually got a decent board here. You can see I got not that many missions. The number of missions seems to have decreased, but that might be due to some of the factions, as we saw before here, that they are in unfavorable states like lockdown. I don't think civil unrest is that good for the scanner missions either, but at least lockdown is not very good. So that might explain the lower number of missions, but the mission payout are still very good. As you can see here, I was still able to stack, of course using the method described here, where you take two missions, then you board hop until you get a good board, and you take the rest of them. And the total value of all these missions, I mean, they are very high paying. 3 million for this one, for instance. If I sum all these up, these all add up to 13 million credits for this mission. So, I mean, if we can still stack missions up for 13 million on a single board, I mean, it took me less than 5 minutes to get the board. And then if the method still works, we're gonna go out here, just launch now. We're gonna go down to the planet now and just try to complete the mission. But if it still works, this is definitely still a viable option to make money, because 5 minutes stacking up the missions, and let's say you use what? Let's say you're slow and use 10 minutes to get down to the planet and everything. You should be able to do it in less than that, but just to be on the safe side. Oh, let me actually lock the planets. There we go. So we're looking at what, 13 millions within a quarter of an hour. So times that by 4, and we are up at 52 million per hour, which is still, I mean, very, very respectable if you ask me. And again, it depends on how fast you can actually do the missions. I'm gonna time this run just to get an idea how fast we actually do it. Okay, we are back at Miller's Port. All the missions are now completed. Let's see how much money we actually made. It just took just under the 10 minutes, just as I said. We're currently sitting at 1.513 million credits. 1,513 million credits. Let's hand in the missions and let's see where we are at once that is done. I still think this looks pretty promising, to be honest. There we go. All the missions are now handed in. And there we go. We are now up to 29, so that made us just over the 15. Is that right? 16 million? Did I really miscalculate that? So if we're looking at 16 million for a quarter of an hour of work, that should add up to 64 million credits per hour. That's pretty close to what we had before. So I would definitely say that even though some of the factions are in an unfavorable state for us right now, that Miller's Port and the scatter missions are still a very, very viable option when it comes to money making. So there you have it. Quince is definitely not dead. It has not been nerfed. I hope you liked it. If you did, give this video a like down below, and remember to go up and click the more info icon if you want a more detailed description of this exact method. I have a whole video that goes into a lot more detail and I showcase the whole run. Didn't want to do that in this video, just want to make this a quick update. So I hope you found it useful. If you did, give it a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and maybe even becoming a Patreon and supporting the channel more directly. It would mean a lot to me. So thanks a lot for joining, and I'll see you guys in space.